In a world like ours, money is such a necessity for many things that we do. There is one source of constant money in our society, our jobs. My name is Mason, and I hit the streets and offices to find out what drives people to choose the job that they do.
My name is Jack Kuhnauer. I'm a United States District Judge for the Western District of Washington, sitting here in Seattle.
My name is Sam Osborne, and I'm the Executive Director at Rainier Valley Food Bank.
My name is Darrell Smith. I am the Deputy Mayor of Community for the City of Seattle under Mayor Mike McGinn.
My name is Lori Matsukawa. I'm an anchor and reporter at King 5 News in Seattle.
My name is Lee Rhodes, and I'm founder of Glassy Baby.
My name is David Wertheimer, and I'm the Deputy Director for the Pacific Northwest Initiative at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
My name is Ainsley, and I'm a registered nurse at Swedish Medical Center.
I'm Paul Hasegawa, and I'm a dentist.
When I was in the 7th grade, I had a teacher by the name of Dale Connor. He spent a portion of the class talking about the court systems, and he described the federal courts and talked about things that struck my interest. One was the fact that federal judges at the time were earning about 7 times what my father was earning. He described life tenure under Article 3 of the United States Constitution, which sounded pretty good to me. So I guess from the time of the 7th grade and then reinforced in high school, I've always wanted to be a federal judge.
You know, I never thought I would be a dentist. My dad was a dentist, though. And so I was around it growing up. So I would come here as a kid. I'd slept in a closet in the back growing up. You know, I'd spend my summers here running around, and he had me working, doing things. But I hated it. I hated coming here because it was boring. So, you know, early on I didn't want to ever be a dentist. But then, you know, as time went on, he let me, like when I was maybe 14, 13, he let me do more assisting and working with people, and I, you know, it always kind of, it was a lot of fun. When you have to make a career choice at some point, you look around at all the people who are doing their jobs, and my dad loved his job. He always loved being a dentist, and that really stuck with me. And he just retired a couple of years ago at the age of 81. Had a huge impact on my career choice.
I fell into it. My husband brought home a little Morphe piece of glass that he'd blown, and I'd drop a tea light in it by accident, and it lit up the way all of our Glass Baby do. And people wanted them, so we started just selling them and making them around Seattle, and we made them in about 13 glass shops around Seattle, and then we opened our own. I would never have put myself in this job. I'm actually not a very good business person, and but I have loved every second of being here, so for as long as I get to do it, it's a wonderful place for me.
I was applying for jobs, and my editor said, you know, have you ever thought of being a TV journalist? They hire women these days. So my last quarter in college, I did an internship at a TV station in San Francisco, and I found that I kind of liked being a television reporter. It's slightly different from being a print reporter. So I applied for both kinds of work, and I had a choice to make. I was in a Greyhound bus station, and about 100 letters I sent out looking for work, I only got 2 replies. One was for a print job with the LA Times. The other one was to be a reporter in a small TV station in Redding, California. And I picked Redding. I picked television, and I'll tell you why. It's because I figured it was a young person's job because I had to carry my own gear, I had to edit my own film, at that time it was film, and I figured, you know, you have to kind of look young and perky, so I said, okay, I'll be a TV reporter first, and then when I'm wrinkled and toothless, I'll become a print reporter.
Well, I think the way I arrived at this job was sort of an interesting, twisted route of things. I, as a realtor, a big part of my work as a realtor was always not just marketing or selling the home to a family. It was really how to help them understand and get to know their community that surrounds their house. So I've always very much been happy and wanted to be a part of what one might call community development. And it's the sort of job where I never go home at the end of a week and feel like, phew, that was easy. It's challenging. It's the hardest job I've ever done, and on many levels it's the most rewarding job I've ever done. And it's a tremendous amount of work, and I'm really honored to do it, and I love what I do. And so I feel like everything I've done has led me to this position. So in a sense, it's exactly what I should be doing at this point in my life and my career.
I started out by directing a little multi-service agency in Capitol Hill. I did that for about 4 years, soon after I moved to Seattle from Texas. And after that, I was a fundraiser for another emergency food program for 6 years after that. And then I've been here at this food bank for about 3.5 years. I absolutely do feel like this is the right job for me. In fact, this is my favorite job that I've ever had in my whole life. And the reason for that probably is because I get to interact with such a wide variety of people, and I get to be around and deal with food all day, every day. And I get to feed my hungry neighbors.
I definitely did not think I was going to become a nurse when I was in college, and gravitated more into psychology classes. Spoke with people who were actually in the nursing profession, the more it piqued my interest, and so I started taking classes. And but yeah, I don't think it was a passion. I think I did sort of fall into it, and the more I learned about it, the more I was excited about the job. I do think that this is the right job for me. I think that there could be other jobs out there that would be right for me as well, but I really love my job.
I've been working in the field of homelessness for about 25 years, and I came into this field out of my interest in social justice and my interest in tackling inequities in the United States and around the world that make life difficult for people. And I never intended to work at the Gates Foundation, but ended up here because several people convinced me it was a good opportunity for me to try and have impact in the world. I tend to have 3 rules in my search for jobs and in the work that I take on. I've had many jobs over many years in many places, and my 3 rules are pretty simple. One is that I have to feel great passion for what I'm doing. It has to mean a lot to me. The second is it has to be intellectually stimulating and challenging and make me think really hard. And the third is that it has to be fun. And I've lucked out here at the Gates Foundation because all 3 of those criteria that I have for jobs are criteria that are met right here. It's something I feel very passionately about. It's a place where I go home, my brain is tired at the end of every day because of how hard I have to think. And it's still a heck of a lot of fun.
On a final note, I wanted to hear what advice these people had for a young person choosing careers.
We all have gifts, so finding out what your gift is and how can you put that into a career.
Find something you really like to do and go for it.
Follow your passion, always. Because no one can, actually, it's probably the only thing no one can take away from you.
Stay in school, work hard at school. That sounds trite, but there's no way in the world I would have been able to do what I do now, and as much as I love it, there's no way in the world I would have been able to do it but for education.
You know, you should always do what you feel like you want to do. Keep your mind open and try things.
While making this film, I heard many different stories and ideas from people of many different careers. I would like to thank everyone that was in this film for their time. We'll be right back.